welcome to a new week. You may as well join me when we have the first look at the BM. It's just been painted. It's had a 20-minute flash. It's the first time I've seen it now as well, just before the bake. Quick walk around together and have a look and see how it's come out. So far, pretty good. So there are a few nibs here and there which I saw when I was doing the paint process itself. It's inevitable on a black, to be honest. It's always going to be the way. But we're always flatting and polishing these in any case. So we've got some little nibs on the front end here. Pretty minor. Front end was fairly difficult to get in and around as well. I had to get underneath that bib. Yeah. Looking pretty good. The Jag block down, so I'm just doing the usual with the pinholes, filling all of those in, getting ready for the final surface prep. Doing it a little bit differently this one, so we are going to do the stone guard on this one now, at this stage, rather than getting it into the booth. Seal all that up, make sure nothing gets in there moisture-wise. Obviously do all the seam seal in these areas afterwards, and we will be putting the arches into Cobra as well on this one. And not just yet. For now, we'll get some sprayable sealant on the arches and stone guard on the outside as well. Same product, stone guard / sealant combined. 2 birds, 1 stone and all that. Be in the booth hopefully tomorrow. So I realise it's been a lot of time-lapse footage that you guys have seen this week. It's been hours and hours worth of footage all compressed down into just the tiny snippets that I put in to the YouTube. Yeah, all sanded, scuffed, prepped, etc. It's had a couple of clean downs yesterday, a couple of panel wipe cleans yesterday. We spent another hour or so this morning giving it 2 more cleans to thoroughly make sure it's all good and ready to go, blow it all down, etc. in between. Obviously we've skirted this one to try and keep it absolutely as clean as possible. We've hoovered the booth out again as well, so I think it's had 3 hoovers in total. So it's going to be as clean as we can possibly make it. Basically, ready to go. We're just going to go around and do the seam sealing now. Quite a lot of seam sealing to do this one actually, because it was a dipped car again, so there's lots of edges which need to be readdressed, especially in the engine bay. I've decided to do the engine bay like this as well. We'll do it at the same time as doing the car, so I'm going to have to step in there. Hope for the best really, but it should be fine. But it's the only way that we can get it with a nice seamless paint edge, no hard edges, and obviously no risk of overspray going back into the engine bay. Then if we painted that first or whatever, we'd have to really mask it up, and you can see how many holes. There's holes everywhere. So no matter how well you think you've masked something up, sometimes if there's just a tiny little hole and we're painting the entire outside of the car and a tiny bit of overspray got back into that engine bay, it would cloud it and make it not look too great. You can polish the overspray off to a certain extent, but not when it gets into all the intricate areas. But actually, kind of besides the point really, because this engine bay, I'll insert a photo shortly, but the VTOLs in this, you really can't see any of this engine bay whatsoever. I think you see about this end, this part of it here is just about visible. Obviously the top edge is here. That little piece there I think is visible. Everything else is hidden. Everything, absolutely everything else is totally hidden. But we'll paint it anyway to make it look nice. Yeah, it won't really be visible when the engine's gone back in there. But anyway, enough chatting for now. Get the seam seal done. Wet on wet, colour, clear coat. Wet on wet done. It's gone on pretty nice and smooth. Just flashing off now. We'll do the engine bay last. I think that's what I'll do again come to paint the actual car. Yeah, get some colour on next. Get some footage of that now as well.
I'm talking way too loud. And if you don't like the sound, you could just tune it out. Who you rooting for? They say whatever team that'll win. I say cool, cause it's gonna be whichever one I'm in. Yeah, I'm good like that. Yeah, I'm good like that. Who you rooting for? They say whatever team that'll win. I say cool, cause it's gonna be whichever one I'm in. Yeah, I'm good like that. Yeah, I'm good like that. Telling you that I might never go to sleep, stay up all night, doing just what I like. No more hoping, no, I'm right like this. I don't lie like this. I'm on fire like this. Yeah. Him and her and them over there. They looking over here, they giving me a stare like I care. Like I care. Who you rooting for? They say whatever team that'll win. I say cool, cause it's gonna be whichever one I'm in. Yeah, I'm good like that. Yeah, I'm good like that. Floating on my wave, but don't care what you say, cause really either way, I'ma do it like that. I'ma do it. I'ma do it like that. I'ma do it. I'ma do it like that.
Look how they looking at me. I think they influenced by me. They're sitting up.
Okay, that's the base done. I thought I'd give you a quick walk around just to show you before lunch. Actually, we're going to have some lunch now. This can sit over lunch to just flash off a little bit longer. It doesn't actually need to, but like I said, it's lunchtime. It's actually way past lunchtime today, being a long old morning already in the booth. Yeah, as per usual, Spectral Wave 2.0. So we've gone on with two full coats of the colour. I think I showed one in the video. And then two drop coats at a reduced pressure. That's what works for this system, but you can see just how smooth and nice it lays down. Really good basis to get the next layers on, which in this instance is going to be 3 layers of our CSR. So it's the absolute highest end, no classic cars, CSR, the highest end clear coat that we've got in the shop. So yeah, should give it a really nice shine finish. Quick lunch, let this sit in the booth, keep the booth running, the heat going, get some clear on there.
She want more than a flame. Want me to give her that moonlight. Everything not what it seems. Real one from the jump start. Gotta watch step on a tightrope. I never fall off this light work. Lord knows it's God's work.
So CSR clear coat on this one, as I said, it's the absolute best of what we had. We used the entire kit on this as well. This is completely empty. Lucky we didn't have the doors in there on this instance, but there we are. Come out nice. So this is an air drying clearer. It's best to, or Noble recommends to air dry this one overnight. We can bake it if we need to, but it doesn't make it any harder. So we're just going to pop the doors open shortly. It's been in here for about 45 minutes on 20 degrees in the heat still. We'll just prop the doors open to let the solvents gas out overnight. I'll do my best to try and get this one outdoors in the sunlight tomorrow, because it's a lovely, lovely colour in the sun especially. It's really going to look nice in the sunlight, but other than that, it's just a very, very nice dark blue, isn't it? Classy colour. I think it suits the car really well. Full flat and polish as per usual. It's come out pretty flat anyway, but you can see there's a couple of little nibs in the roof as per usual. Big old flat area. But all in all, it's come out pretty clean. Engine bay's come out nice. Again, as I mentioned before, so we have got a bit of pitting areas on that section there. We knew that beforehand. In any case, there's no point in addressing things like that in all honesty, because it is totally hidden. The only things that you're going to see, this bit here, it's just come out lovely. So as long as we get the visible bits sorted, everything else is just for protection purposes. Yeah, all in all, straight off the gun, it's come out nice. just like that then, that's another week done. I have actually already started next week's video as well, but I've got more than enough footage in here for these 2 cars, so I think I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, busy on as always. I was going to do a quick walk around of these 2 outside as well, but apologies for the noise, digger in the background and a lot of dust and everything, so I had to get the cars back in as soon as possible. But all that video was going to say was basically Tig spent the entire week pretty much polishing, flatting, polishing, and doing the heavy cut on this one. So we are still in the polishing process. We've still got some gloss left to come back on this one, but it's getting there, as you can see. Yeah, more gloss to come on this one, and then we can do the same whole process again with the Jag as well. So I think some of you guys will probably be a little bit surprised about how quickly we can do things like this. When they get to this stage, you've got to remember as well, hours and hours and hours and weeks worth of work has gone into this one. I don't show you nearly half of it on the channel, but yeah, the time lapses give a bit of an idea, I suppose, how much work goes into them. But then the actual paint stage itself is so minor in some ways. It's right at the end of the process. We spent the entire day in the booth for the Jag, so that's 6 hours basically. When you think how many hours has gone into that in the grand total, 6 hours out of that is absolutely nothing. So yeah, when they get to this sort of stage, we really can push these through pretty quick. It's all in the prep work as always. That's what makes these cars. So, and then what really makes them is the reassembly side of things. When things start going back on, doors, lights, etc., that's when they really come alive. But yeah, that's all my stuff's done on this one now. And then, like I said, Jag's just got a few more panels to do still, but we're not far off. And then I'll be on to the next. So, as always, guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Any questions, let me know. I'll answer them in the comments below. Always try to anyway. I'll catch you next week.